Hey everyone, this is pretty terrific, and as always, I'm Chris.
Hi, I am always Marie.
You're always Marie.
I am always Marie. What up? How are you,
I'm
Chris?
doing pretty good. I mean, I've had better times,
Yeah,
but like right now,
sure.
talking to you right now, this helps. This helps.
This is
This
terrific.
is terrific.
Look at us. Look at us.
Yeah,
This is
and,
terrific.
and you know, one thing that's been going through my head, and all Philadelphia right now. I don't know. You're probably out of this because you're not in Philadelphia and you're not in sports world, but the whole city is now a buzz about the Eagles going to the Super Bowl in 2 days. And
I've heard about this.
yeah.
I've heard about the Super Bowl, and I have actually heard about the Eagles and the Global Insights team here at Reddit, where I work. Sorry, work. I'm mentioning you. They did like a little thing based on mentions of teams on Reddit who would win the Super Bowl.
Oh, and how did that come out?
Eagles.
Nice.
Yes.
We're the loudest.
Yes, we talk about ourselves the most. But also wondered like how many of those people were like very disparaging.
Right? Like,
But
oh,
it's like a
Eagles
mention's a
suck.
mention. Yeah. Boo Eagles.
Yeah.
But who knows? But good luck to you.
Well,
I
thank
hope you're
you.
invested.
Yeah. The whole city is very excited. There's green on everything, and I'm putting out a sundae today that is a super cookie bowl. That is a cookie
Mm,
bowl with we made special green whipped cream to put on top. Just
nice.
like normal whipped cream, but it's greener. Yeah.
Yes, that's like when you said everything is green. I'm like, and because I don't know the colors of your team, so I was just like, oh, great,
Yeah,
fantastic.
the Eagles are green. There's a bunch of that, and all the
That doesn't seem
skyscrapers are
right.
lit up.
Oh, okay,
But
for
that
an eagle to be green, but okay,
no,
yeah,
that's fair. I've never seen an actual green eagle.
yes, but good for you, good for you guys, owning it and making them green. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I don't follow the sports ball typically, but I am from Texas, where football is a very serious thing, particularly high school football. And there is something very exciting and captivating. I think we've talked before about collective effervescence,
Yes.
about everyone being invested in the outcome of something, being together. And personally, perhaps you could tell just by looking, I really enjoy a Frito pie and a hot cocoa. I don't know if they have Frito pie
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
I don't. I've never had a Frito pie, but it sounds pretty great. I would.
It's pretty terrific, Chris. Can I tell you how they make a Frito pie
Please
at
tell me.
football games? At least when I was coming up, when I was younger in high school, and you go to high school football games, they would take a bag of Fritos, like your snack size, and they would cut open the top, and then they'd put a scoop of chili on top, melt, and then like shredded cheese, like cheddar cheese, and then a dollop of sour cream,
Okay.
and then make hot sauce if you want,
Oh,
and that's Frito pie.
nice.
Yeah, doesn't that sound
Yeah, it
excellent?
sounds pretty simple. Sounds like it not doesn't take a ton of time to prepare.
Well, you can like if you're doing it at home, of course, you can like do it up and then bake it and have like a la di da. But to me, that sort of simple preparation is, uh,
You missed that.
yes, kudos to whichever mom figured that out, or dad, or parent.
Ooh.
Yes. So I guess what is the snack of the Eagles besides Cookie Bowl?
That's a really good quiz. Oh, it's just cookie bowls. That's all we eat all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
And you're not an Eagles fan unless you eat a Tubby Robot Cookie Bowl.
Yes, that's what I'm saying right now. So,
And in fact, magical thinking, every Cookie Bowl that's not eaten is a point the Eagles could have won, or a yard, let's say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you
Mhm.
want to help them score, push more yards down the field. Yeah. Now we're both
Mhm.
talking like we don't know what sports balls are. It's great.
You know.
Yeah,
I said yard. That's a thing.
yard is definitely a thing. You're on
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, sports ball. They have to eat cookies. This is all. We're. Come on. It's science.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
it reminds me though of my daughter when she was younger. She must have been 4. I took her to a Phillies baseball game, And, they hit a home run. They won that game. It was very exciting. And she was very small and didn't really know what words were all the way yet. And so she said, "That was great. The Phillies hit a big home mile." She called it a home mile. And at first we were like, that's hilarious and adorable. And I think it's just because what she associates running with miles when we talk about going on runs. How many miles was it? So she called it a home mile.
Yes, runs and yes, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's a connection.
I get it.
But
totally.
I got a question that I never thought I'd ask you. Based around the idea of sportsing and video games, which we actually talked about a good amount yesterday. Have you ever played sports video games? Was there ever one that you got into, or even like a cursory kind of glancing blow of a sports game?
Do you remember NHL when it was really shitty? I think it was on PlayStation.
Okay.
The first PlayStation, just some guys I knew in college had it, and that was like the only game they had. And so I would try to play it, but I didn't know anything, but I would just try to start fights all the time.
Yeah, that's the best part of hockey games.
And then so I didn't know anything about how the game is played or how to do it. But no, I mean, do you consider driving a sport?
Yeah.
What is NASCAR? Is NASCAR a sport?
I'm going to include it in this, yeah.
Okay, then Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing.
Oh, I like how we're like, is NASCAR a sport? Then Mario Kart. It wasn't a NASCAR video game. I've never played a NASCAR video game.
I mean, I played a Gran Turismo because I like worked on the game or something, and I was like, thanks for the free. Oh, this is boring. But yeah, so if you think that NASCAR is a sport, Crash Team Racing.
I'd argue there's a couple more degrees of separation before you get between those two things, but yeah.
It's a sport. There's skill and there's competition. There are clear winners and losers. There's multiplayer.
Yeah, you could say that with pretty much any video game too. All right, so here's a question.
Wait, motherfucker. Sorry. Are esports sports?
Well, I would not say they're sports video games. No, I would not say that.
Okay, I see what you're saying, because I've definitely dabbled in some MOBAs, so...
Yeah. Well, what MOBAs did you play? I didn't even know that.
Baby's first MOBA, HOTS.
Oh, dude, I legit still play HOTS on a near daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Wow. I haven't played in a long time.
It's still fun.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's Baby's first MOBA. And I was like, yay, I understand it.
Oh, they made a great mode that's even dumbed down further that you might not have seen, called ARAM, all random, all mid. And so it's just, the map is one lane. And everyone just smashes into each other. Have you played that mode?
No.
Oh, it's
but that's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I play that because it's quicker, and it's just basically nonstop action.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Okay. I mean, I've definitely played like competitive Call of Duty, like in like they have like their whatever league thingy, and I did like whenever they do it for Overwatch, or they have seasons. I've definitely played like that. Okay, but the sports, like actual human physical sports that are played in life. Have I ever played a version of that? NBA Live with Ben. And it's too hard because I don't understand sports ball plays. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm just like, I don't even like, there's like a level of understanding that's beyond just knowing how to handle the controls, where it's like, I don't know what a play is like, cut, pick, and you're playing with other people. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. What do you mean? Yeah.
That makes so. Wait, when you're playing with Ben, you'll play with other randos on the internet on your team as well?
Oh no, I will play with Ben, and then I've played like when I was working at Twitch. Of course, there was like hella places where you could just sit down and play video games, and people would take breaks, and we'd all play together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, so here's a question: Did back in the day, did you ever play like Wii Sports when that was the hotness?
Okay. Yes. Yes. You know what? Remember how it used to take videos of you? Was that Wii Sports? No, this was on the Kinect.
Yeah.
So we had all of the things. We've always had all of the things. But Wii Sports, absolutely.
Yeah.
Frisbee, I really enjoyed the Frisbee one. Do you
Yeah,
remember that one?
Wii Sports
And
Resort.
then, yes, Wii Sports Resort. Yes. Yeah, we played. Yes. Remind me of some
Oh, I
games.
mean, there's the classic ones are tennis and bowling, um,
Ah,
which are great.
yes. Ben and I would play tennis and bowling a lot.
Yeah.
And it would be funny because we were so out of shape and there was like no air conditioning in our house. So, like, because we were in San Francisco, we'd have all the windows open and like Ben would be in his boxers and a t shirt and we would be playing
That
tennis.
sounds like a great day.
Yes. And no one got hurt.
It's important.
Yes. Okay. So, yes, I played tennis and I played tennis in life when I was in high school. So, does that count? Thank you for bringing that
No,
up.
I think
Yes, I'm a sports ball player.
counting it, playing it in real life, it's like double points, man.
Yeah.
And I would say, so I never, early on, like I played Madden 93 on the Super Nintendo because my sister got it. We got it. It was like $5, which at the time it was like getting a video game for $5 is crazy. And so we actually played that a fair amount. And every time we played, our favorite play was fake field goal. So we would be like first down. We'd be like fake field goal, which is something that doesn't even make sense. But we would just do it over and over again. And we had a lot of fun just calling stupid plays. That was great.
That's the best way to play your own rules.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
but since then, like I don't really play any of them. And I think they've consolidated. Like I feel like there used to be a ton of like different football and baseball games. And now it kind of feels like there's just maybe one. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Well, I think like for a while, Ben's basketball game was NBA Live made by EA. And then for a while they didn't make it. And so there was only 2K.
Yeah.
And that he, for some reason, didn't care for as much. And I tried to play it with him because I love him. And I tried. And I'm just like, this free throw mechanic, I cannot figure it out. I'm just like, what is the... I don't know. There are too many things.
Yeah.
It's a level of complexity I don't need in a game.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is that people have Madden tournaments, like in the modern era, like they will go, and apparently it's skill-based enough that people, play it and competitively, which I'd love to learn more about, like what exactly goes into that. Like, are these like mechanically complex things they're doing, or is it all about like picking their plays? I have no idea, man.
Again, it's like to me, it's such an investment.
Yeah.
And like figuring things out. I'm like, oh man, that sounds rough, bro.
Says the lady with how many hundreds of hours in Fallout 76?
But that's not like, okay, I shoot, I point the gun, I shoot.
And then you build a complex base filled with electricity and power generation.
Yes.
Like that. There's a lot of learning that went into that.
Yeah, but it's not like, I don't think I'm not very strategic, personally.
Yeah.
And I think definitely I've, been in the Fallout 76 subreddits and there are people who are like very strategic about their builds and shit like that. I'm just like, I don't know what my build is. It's me. I always play the games as myself. And do I look like a guy with a plan? No, I am not a guy with a plan. I am just like winging it out here, winging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have had fun like in modern era playing any sports game that's prefaced with the word Mario. So some of those are pretty fun. Like there's Mario Strikers is like a soccer game. That's fun.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, they had a tennis game.
Yeah, I think it's just called Mario Tennis. And
sounds great.
Yeah, Mario Tennis is fun.
Sounds fantastic.
They
Mario Kart is a sports game. I think we've already established.
What I haven't played and I kind of would love to was like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Those.
Oh yeah.
Never played one, but they look like they're just like good, goofy fun.
Can I give you a throwback? Do you remember Atari had an Olympic Games?
Yes, I do recall that.
Yeah. That was a great way to injure your hand.
Because it was all about like mashing or spinning, right? Like all the time.
Yeah. Thank God we were young. My God, it's the carpal tunnel Olympics. Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that?
Well, it makes me think of in Mario Party, especially the first one on the N64, there were a lot of mini games that made you spin the stick as quick as possible. And a lot of people found that the best way to do that was to use the palm of their hand. on the joystick.
And then start a fire.
Well, you start a fire, and a lot of people, like, they would wear holes in their hand, like they would have injuries, like, stigmata would happen because of Mario Party.
Okay. It's a backdoor for Catholicism. And then you're like, oh, am I? And then you would like look up stigmata, and then you would look up the saints, and then you would pick up a Bible.
Yeah. And you'd be like,
Yeah.
it turns out that I'm gonna, change my name to the patron saint Waluigi. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Why not? What's he the patron saint of?
He's the patron saint of Wah!
And that's the show. No,
Yeah. Mario Party, that's a pretty fun game. I don't know if we discussed that. Have you?
I have it. I had it at the time. Yeah. I think that because my people over at the house thing was quite kind of limited in our day. Yes. It was like me and Ben.
Yeah.
And it's like Ben doesn't like one of the mini games. We're never playing it again.
I do feel like that's the sort of game that really benefits from a like dorm room environment. And yes. I don't know that I ever played it in a dorm room environment, but I can imagine it's like, hey, we're playing Mario Party tonight. Let's come on over.
Yeah. Also, it's just like a whole bunch of people. So like the games that you don't like that are stupid, it's like hand it off.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like. Yeah, it is. It's not so much about the games, but the company.
Exactly. Yeah, because the games, honestly, like if you're playing Mario Party, it gets pretty boring.
Word. Yeah, it's just about the ridiculousness of the company. Yeah.
Yeah. I love playing like games with my kids. But when the Mario Party came out, I think new Super Mario Party, they kept on, Dad, play Mario Party with us. And I'd be like, cool. And the first couple times I was like, this is great. But then I got sleepy. It's very, very slow paced. So there were a couple times I legit fell asleep on the couch playing it with them.
Aww.
And they'd be like, Dad, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, football practice.
Oh, I have a falling asleep during a game thing. Do you remember Left 4 Dead?
Oh yeah, I'll never.
Okay,
never
so it's one of the best. Bring it back. Goddamn. Ben was in law school around the time those games came out, and I just wanted to spend some time with him, and it was after his finals, and I was like, yay, now you've got a week off. It was like holidays. And he's like, yeah, awesome, let's play some video games. And legit, do you remember like the game would be kinder to you based on how poorly you're performing?
Yeah, I think they called it the director, like the AI director or something.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yes. And so there was a point in the game where all of a sudden it seemed just like very easy. And I'm like, what's going on? And Ben had fallen asleep. And I'm like, this is not like a game that's like sleepy time.
No,
I don't know.
Like there's something happening at all times in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I can even remember where it was, but like, yeah, he had fallen asleep in the middle of the day playing Left 4 Dead.
Like sitting next to you.
Yeah, right next to me on the couch, and I took a picture of him because that's what you do. Like he had the controller in his hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
So you were carrying that game, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like all of a sudden it was like, oh, I could just like walk right through and kill all these guys. God, what a game! What a game!
What a game! I would love. I mean, really, there's no reason not to go back to it because it's still fun. There's nothing wrong with that game.
Yeah, and like I was thinking recently about getting Portal 2, the co-op, like couch co-op mode for Ben and I to play together. Yeah. Because what a great time and what a true test of a relationship.
You should. Yeah, I recently replayed through Portal 2, and it is still delightful. I played it when I got the Steam Deck, and I was like, well, what am I going to play on it first? And I was like, good excuse to play through Portal 2. Loved it. It's such a funny, well-written game, well-designed, and it's I love that. I love it. Everything about it.
Yeah, shout out to my former colleague Kim Swift, who designed that game and has a very lovely collection of pets.
On an unrelated note, pets.
Yes, it's always like a bird and a lizard and a bunny, or just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow her on Instagram. Anywho, yes, wonderful games.
No, and there is a spiritual successor that's out now, and I believe it's called Back for
What?
Blood. Back for Blood, and I think it's made by some of the ex-developers. You hadn't heard of this then?
No, I have not. What is it? Well, it's.
Um,
I guess it's a spiritual successor
it's
to
exactly
Portal.
that. No, not to Portal. To Left 4 Dead.
Oh, sorry, Left 4 Dead. Oh, wait, yes. The one they premiered at E3. There's something else. What was it called? God dang.
Oh,
It was the same developers as of Left 4 Dead. Good
it's
night.
Turtle Rock. Okay. Oh, so apparently,
What's
Back for Blood. Last week they declared that they're no longer supporting it. So
what?
I guess it wasn't doing great.
Oh,
So bummer.
huh. Oh, was that the one with vampires?
I don't think so. I think it was still zombies. There was a vampire one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a vampire game. Sorry, I can't remember any of the E3 announcements that I was like so hyped for.
Yeah.
In that moment, Yeah. Like Deathloop, it looked cool, but like then I'm like, meh.
Yeah, everyone I know who played that game, they were like really into the idea of it and getting, just once they started playing, they were like, I don't know anyone who stuck it through, I don't think.
Yeah. And I don't like a DNF on a game cuz I want to complete a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that I have completed, have we talked about the Last of Us television show?
No, we haven't.
Oh, sir.
You're liking it.
Sir, that is terrific. That is super terrific. I had my apprehensions, right? Like, adaptations of video games to television or movie have not seen a ton of success.
No.
Okay, speaking of terrific, what is the best adaptation of a video game you've ever seen to like another medium?
Oh, that's a tough question. To another medium?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the troll in me only half-heartedly wants to say Uwe Boll's Postal.
I think you just love Uwe Boll, though.
I kind of do. I've seen all of his video game movies.
Whatever happened to him? He had a heyday.
He did.
Yeah.
I legit had more fun watching his House of the Dead in the theaters than I've had in the theater almost any other movie. It was great.
Didn't he do Blood Rain too? Yeah, he did Blood Rain. Wow.
Blood Rain,
that takes me back.
The best one. If anyone wants to see a terrible movie that's hilarious as well, what was it called? Dungeon Siege Tale? Oh my god. It was great.
Oh, yeah, that takes me back like to when there were still Blockbusters, like you could rent movies from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, what?
Yeah, okay, it was In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale, starring, who is legit one of my favorite action guys, Jason Statham. He was
Jason
Statham starred in that movie, and his character's name, I kid you not, was Farmer. And he was a farmer.
Oh, well, I mean, well, you know how many surnames came from your employment, right? Like Smith.
Yeah, but usually
Baker.
That's a surname and not just your name.
Well,
I think the meta premise for him, for the director, was that he's an NPC, and this is an NPC who gets caught up in this Dungeon Siege tale. So it's this fantasy, low budget thing. The best scene is they're trying to get from one mountain to another mountain, and they decide to use a grappling hook. And so they use a grappling hook to nothing, like Spider-Man. Like, they don't show, it just goes off screen, and they swing from one mountain to another, and it doesn't make any physical sense at all.
Is it like on a cloud?
It must be. It's like,
yeah,
they hook it to the top of the mountain they're on and somehow use that to swing to up the peak of the other mountain. It doesn't make any sense, and it's we died laughing. It was great.
Why not?
Yeah,
why not?
I think movies need to be a little bit more willing to suck, and if you just got to take that suckiness by the horns and just go all out with it, and then you can make something really fun, really fun to watch.
I think that in general, I would like to see folks take more risks.
Yes.
Creatively in general, but I understand the economics behind not wanting to.
Yeah.
Because it's like that probably cost a lot of money for them to hook a grappling hook to nothing and then swing from mountain to mountain.
Yeah.
And it probably cost them a lot of money just to get Jason Statham and all of these things, and like people working on it, you want them to have some money, right? I don't know. If we were an infinite dollar machine, I'd be like, go for it. But like, yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if I want people to suck more or and movies to suck in particular, but I definitely like when people take risks and really go for it.
I think that's a great encapsulation of it. Taking risks. Like, be okay with taking risks. Do something different. See what happens. Throw things at the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like people try to make things safe, and this is true of any kind of creative endeavor. But if there were some sort of algorithm for good creative output, then computers would be doing it by now.
Yeah.
And we would have amazing creative all the time. And so the formulas, maybe they're effective, but they're not outstanding.
I agree. I think
they're safe.
I think the worst thing a piece of media can be is boring. And, as long, like, if you're, see, to me, I rate something how much I like it based on how boring it is or how engaged I am. And there's a lot of things that are bad that I think are fantastic. Like, I just have so much fun watching it. Like, so what is the quality value? Is it on, like, based on, this is the objective quality of this piece of work, or is it like how much fun I had doing it? And maybe I'm thinking like a video game, right? Because if I'm playing a video game and I'm having fun, it's a great game. It doesn't matter. Nothing else about it matters. It's a great game.
Yeah.
I kind of tend to apply that to movies and TV too, which is not kind of the metric other people use, right?
I mean, if there are enough people that we can measure and say, okay, there are enough Chris's in the world who will enjoy it for its flaws to make it a viable, like, economic venture. I hate myself right now. I feel like people would do it, but like, I don't know. Everyone's, the greatest insult that I can levy at another person is a coward, and there are a lot of cowards.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like how you're like, this is the worst thing I could say about someone, and it applies to most people.
I'm gonna walk that back. And say there are people who are cowards.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that's like it's like, to me, like a horrifying insult. I don't know if it's like whatever, sure, but it's like, wow, you're a coward.
And it's a kind of a popular meme thing now too, just like, bring us Pikmin 4, you cowards, like that. That's kind of a meme to just say you cowards. So, but when you hear that, like, you're like, oh. Yeah,
to me, like physically, it's just
too
like,
far, man, too far.
Yeah, that hurts. And I have, a pretty rough mouth, let's say. I've said some choice things in my time. Yeah. But a coward.
Oh.
A coward. Wow.
I love that. The phrase rough mouth alone is fantastic.
I coined today on this stream.
There we go.
So, hooray. Hey, welcome. You're welcome.
I feel like it's something you would say, like, you'd call a dame, like, yeah, you's dame, you's got a rough mouth.
That broad.
That skirt's got a rough mouth.
Whoa, nice. Ouch. I'm wearing pants today, Chris.
Me too.
Yeah. You can see my wrists. What?
You strumpet.
Wait, elbow. Anyway, we were talking about something.
Yeah, we were talking about the idea of taking risks and how it's maybe something people should be more into doing.
Yeah, that's why I exposed my elbow. I was just like,
it's a risky move.
Take that, world. I have pierced ears.
Oh!
I know. What? I have a driver's license. Anywho.
Well, that makes me think of, indie games that maybe are a little janky and a little busted that are still tons of fun.
Of course.
And yeah, I'm sure you've played a lot more than me. The one that kind of jumps to mind for me is Gang Beasts. Have you played that game?
Yes, I have played Gang Beasts. God, that's one of the, again, there are so many games. I really feel like people underestimate the value of couch co-op or like community co-op. Like just being in a group of people, watching people play this game. It's so hilarious. I absolutely love that game. Have you played
Oh
it?
yeah. We played it in the
Yeah.
beta before it was officially out,
Yeah.
and I've heard that the final release isn't much less janky, but the jank was so much of the
It's so
fun.
it's part of the game.
Yeah. I'm still not entirely
So-
like I've probably put like 30 hours in that game. I'm not entirely sure what the buttons do. Like
Oh no, who knows?
yeah, like the
Who knows?
like I get the idea that the right bumper and the left bumper vaguely make you grab with those arms, extend those arms, but like
You're sort of gummy.
yeah,
So it's just yeah, just
it's sort of a sometimes thing.
especially when I was like at Twitch and we'd have streams where just all these different people are playing the games and it's just like people doing the shit talking, getting really hype about it, and like say the two trucks. This is for some reason
That's
a really
my
big
favorite
memory.
level.
Yes, okay, the two trucks, right? And just like people getting really hype and you can see them and getting ready to jump and they just fall off. It's just, there's something so exciting and good about that
Yeah.
experience. Again, I'm a big fan of the collective effervescence and that happens in these co-op
I'm
games.
so glad that you brought up that truck level. Like if anyone watching this hasn't seen it,
Oh, good.
just look up videos of Gang Beast truck level. It's
it's
basically four blobby people fighting on top of trucks. It's the scene from Terminator 2, essentially. But periodically, like, signs will come by and just, like, sweep people off. So you'll be having this epic battle, punching a dude left and right and, like, hanging on for your life. Like, one of my favorite moments was I was playing with friends and somebody knocked another person off, but they were still hanging on the edge by, like, an arm. And the person was up top was gloating. They put their arms up, and then a sign came.
because you can celebrate.
The sign came, smashed them off immediately. So the other person won, and we lost our minds. It was so good.
It's so I miss that kind of stuff, man.
I think it's still
good
happening.
times.
We just,
Yeah, but I'm not exposed to it quite as much. Yeah.
Another one like that it's an objectively great game. I think it's very tight, but almost as fun. Is Towerfall. Have you ever played Towerfall?
I have not played Towerfall, but I've watched people play Towerfall.
It's good.
A lot. Yeah, people really enjoy that. I mean, if we're gonna go in this, like, these are the games that people would watch. This is like kind of, I think we're kind of dating ourselves to when these were like really hot games to watch.
Well,
people,
Towerfall was the launch title, the launch exclusive for the Ouya, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, and I have one. My husband bought me one. You like game consoles, babe? If you, I haven't. Yeah. We're definitely dating ourselves. Do you remember Nidhogg?
Yes.
That's a game.
That is a game.
That is a game. What a fun, hilarious game that is.
It's great. And they made a sequel to it, and people were less into it because the art style drastically changed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to
be like cool.
No,
Yeah.
not even. It was goofy. It was like super goofy.
But
But I think that you just got to get over it and just be like, oh, wait, I think they had an aesthetic in mind, and it was very different than the first aesthetic, but like, I want to give it a chance and embrace it. Of course, this came out like 5 years ago. I haven't played it yet, so maybe I never will, but I like the concept of them like taking risks, right? They went for it.
Yeah. Take risks, everyone.
I lost your audio. There we go. I got you. Sorry. What'd you say?
Hello. I said take risks, everyone, and then I held my thumb up like this.
Good. I'm glad we got you to repeat that for everyone.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes. It was my PSA for the day. Take risks. Take risks. I know that you're not a huge fan of iOS, but there have been some really interesting iOS games that I think are like Sneaky Sasquatch.
Now, what is that game about? I mean,
Well,
Sneaky Sasquatch, obviously.
You're a Sasquatch.
End of game.
And you live in a park. And you've got to be sneaky. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you've got to be sneaky because you're a Sasquatch. Because if the park rangers find you, they'll make you go home. They're like, hey, Sasquatch, not cool. You're going to scare all the people in the park. But I mean, okay, maybe I'm kidding myself and it's not like everyone was taking risks on a fun idea. And maybe it was like highly calculated people like Sasquatch and blah, 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 blah. We did a market research and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so you're a sneaky Sasquatch and you've got stuff to do. Like you got to feed yourself all the time because you're enormous. And so at first you're like sneaking around the park, hiding in bushes to avoid being detected and like stealing things from campers. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like eventually like you can steal a ranger's outfit and you can get a driver's license and you can get cars. You can compete in like dirt bike races. You can compete in surfing. Like it just like escalates from there. And I went in like not knowing much about it, but it was like at the top of the charts. And so I was like, okay. And it's silly. And I played the whole damn thing. And I played so much of it. It's just sneaky Sasquatch.
It sounds
and
fun.
Like didn't
No,
really have
it
an end
sounds
game.
imaginative, and the way you described it, it sounds like there's actually a fair amount of depth. Like if you can steal a driver's license and start driving cars in this.
No, you have to get a driver's license and drive a car. And then also you can be like an Uber or a Lyft driver and start taking rides.
Crazy taxi Sasquatch.
Places. Yes, and there are so many different things that you can do to like earn. I think you can earn money. It's been a while, but you know you always have to feed. I had an apartment in the city, and I also had my place, my home base back in the park, and you have to keep food in the fridge. And my favorite part was like feeding myself, because then you just go like this with your hands, and the food was like you can have a pet dog. Yeah.
So when
I wonder where that came
when you're playing this, I guess is it touch based the whole thing, like how you get around?
Well, because I'm a nerd, I use an Xbox controller to play on my iPad, which I have. Oh, here comes an extra nerd. But hey, it's for a reason because of my neck. I have on a mount that is held up in front of me. And so I'm like lying in bed playing on my Xbox controller. So that's how I play.
Yeah, and you probably also have a robot butler next to you dropping Cheetos into your mouth as you play, right? That's what I'm guessing.
That's a horrible phrase to call Ben. He is a human man.
Not a robot butler.
Chris.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry, Ben.
He's a human man. Yes, that's my existence.
No,
but I haven't played it in a while. But it was just fun.
It sounds like a great way to do it, and you turned it into something resembling an actual like gaming platform. I think to me, like anything you're playing with a controller, doesn't matter what it's coming from. It's a video game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else you would play that game, honestly. Like all the racing elements.
Well, I mean,
my goodness.
The fact that it's on iOS though would imply that they have made it touch enabled, right?
Yes. Yeah. There's some good games on the Apple Arcade.
I believe it.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, it seems like a place where a lot of that indie kind of energy flowed into.
Yes.
And I think there's indie energy all over the place, but iOS specifically. The problem with it, again, is there was the gold rush mentality, right? So everyone was like, oh, you can make all this money putting your game on mobile. And so there's so much shovel.
Sure. There have been some standouts. And if you look at like editors' picks and personally, I prefer to play paid games.
Yeah.
I want to pay for the game.
That makes sense.
And be done with
Absolutely.
it. And microtransactions, no thank you. But I do monetize a lot in even games with microtransactions. Okay, and then I want to bring up one more iOS game that I think was excellent.
Please,
excellent.
yeah.
Outlanders, which is fantastic. Goodness me, what a fun game. And they keep releasing content for it. So if you haven't played it yet, there's just like tons of content you can get through. But essentially, there are the core levels. There's a sandbox mode, but the core levels, you're a different type of leader each level. And you're like, I want to, go out and explore and start a village. And my goals for this village are X, Y, and Z. And then basically SimCity it. And build like a bakery, build farms, build foraging huts and lumberjack huts, and you assign people to work in these places. And remember, I don't know if I'll ever know a game as good as Warcraft Orcs versus
Mm-hmm.
Humans or Orcs and Humans. It's like that kind of job done, that kind of satisfaction of things that I really enjoy. And that is such a great game. Beautiful colors, beautiful art, but kind of in a lo-fi way. Um, Love it. That's my kind of game though.
Yeah.
Like little village builders and making people do
Well, that
things
sounds
and
fun. It sounds like a game that would be up my alley because I love real-time strategy games and I also love builder games like
yeah.
aforementioned, like Warcraft, old school Warcraft specifically.
Old school Warcraft. What a game. Okay, but I wish that I don't. Do you have access to an iPad?
I don't. Is it
I
not on Android or anything?
I don't know. I have no idea, but I would love for you to play it. I again, this I play with touch. Like controller doesn't make any sense, but I play it on the iPad and I love it. It's fantastic.
It's called
Uh,
Outlanders.
I think
Oh,
so.
it's on
Yes.
Steam.
Let me.
Yeah, it's on
Yay!
Steam.
Yay! Did you see the color palette? So
Yeah,
good.
it
Wonderful.
does look very appealing.
Okay. I'm on a roll of like old school games that I want to recommend to you, and then I just forgot what I was going to tell you about.
Oh, it's interesting. So the demo is out now on Steam. It's not been released. It's releasing on March 7th. So that's great.
Oh, soon
Yeah,
enough.
very soon.
And there's so much content. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, I remember what I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm wondering if you can tell me if there's a game, or if our 3 listeners might tell me if there's a game like this. Do you remember a game, not to be confused with the Woody Harrelson movie, called Rampart?
Yes, an old game called Rampart. Yeah,
A very old
it was
game.
originally an arcade game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then came out from Atari
Yes.
in I think the early 90s. So one of their sort of last gasp games. And then it was released in some like Atari thing for Xbox 360. I want to play Rampart.
Like classic Rampart.
Yeah, or something like Rampart. Please help me.
I actually I've never really played Rampart. It was one that I always saw, and I only saw when I was a little kid, and I was like, I don't know what this is or what I'm doing or what I'm confused.
Yes. Well, it's.
I mean, I can get you Rampart. Like we can emulate it, and you can play that.
I want it.
Yeah, I can.
I want Rampart.
We'll hook you up, MAME with the multiple arcade machine emulator.
I want it.
Yeah.
It's a good game. They're good games, Chris.
You just gave me a great idea for what we'll play on Wallovision at the shop next week. Why not Rampart?
Rampart?
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, please send video. It would just the joy.
Yeah, it's one I've never
yeah.
delved into, and I'd love to learn it because it's one I've seen around. I'm like, there's something to this. I just didn't put time into grasping it.
Well, no spoilers, but it's not like a game you can spoil. You know, you play against somebody else or a computer, and it's great. It's fantastic.
Nice.
I would love that. Do me a good solid there, buddy.
No problem.
Yay.
And in terms of like city builders and little things like that, did you or anyone you talked to, did anyone get hyped for that new Nintendo Direct that just came out?
No, tell me about it.
So they announced a lot of things, but the first thing they showed was most exciting to me. They showed gameplay footage for Pikmin 4, which is coming out on July for the Switch, which
the cowards did it.
The cowards did it. They're not maybe not so cowardly, but it looks so delightful. They just showed like they have this ice Pikmin now, and you can use that to freeze ponds so that all the Pikmin can walk over water for the first time, which is an awesome idea that never would have come up with. And there's also a dog now, and you have a Pikmin dog that smashes through things, and yeah, it looks like it might be up your alley. I think you would enjoy this Pikmin 4 coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. After this, I'm gonna Google it. I'm about.
Yeah, watch that trailer. I think you'll be into that trailer. If you want that little hip of like job's done, like
job's done.
You get that little tiny bug plant people.
Job's done. How do I play that game again?
Yeah, you can play it on your Mac, I think, right now.
Can I?
Yeah, because Blizzard historically has made all their games cross-platform, Mac and PC, as they launch.
Okay, because I have in the past Googled it and tried to find it so I could just play it. Job's done. And I haven't found it. But you know what? That's on me. That's on me, Chris. That's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
But then there was other stuff they announced. A lot of it though, this is something I've been curious about too. So a lot of games people get most excited about are re-releases and remakes, and this is something that's become more and more prevalent. And I think it's largely because the back catalog of gaming is just getting longer and longer. So every new generation is like, well, now we have eight generations of content to pull from that people have, want to hit that nostalgia bone. Do you think there's ever going to be a place where that ends, or are we just always like, we come out with a system, the PlayStation 8 is going to be like, you can play Last of Us Part 2 on our new system? Like, is this going to be a thing that's just a constant?
I mean, for classic quality games, for me, I would always love to have them in my library, that they're inaccessible to me. And I want to go through my list of games that I need to have re-released immediately. I hope they're always available and upgraded. I know that we make jokes about like how Skyrim is now ported to different devices. It's now on your Apple Watch, stuff like that. But it's like, it's a good game. It's a good game, Chris.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we have The Last of Us Part 1 available on PlayStation 8? Come on. Do you think there's going to be an end?
No, I don't foresee that happening. And it's hard to say though, because like as we get further along in technology, I feel like graphically at least there's diminishing returns every generation. Like PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 4 does not feel like the leap that the previous one, and certainly not like 1 to 2. Like like that first leap from 2D to 3D games, like Super Nintendo to N64, we're never going to have something like that again unless, something crazy like VR takes off. But VR is happening, and I feel like it's not as big as that jump, right?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's fine.
like its own thing, but and it's fun.
It's fine.
But it's not like taking over like, well, all games are this now, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I can tell, our perception of time, or the arrow of time, continues to move forward. And so we will always have more games and a further distance from the last games, and there will be this need. But here's my list. Here's my list of games that I immediately need to be released. Okay, first of all, we just need a new Viva Pinata. Like 1000%. Viva Pinata. Why? Rare, what are you up to? What are you up to?
Just a quick point of clarification. Is this games that you want a sequel to, or to be just ported to a modern system?
I'll take anything. Give me. Okay. But
what's your preference with Viva Pinata?
Viva Pinata, I think we can do a sequel.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The graphics can be upgraded from the 360, is what I'm saying. Trouble in Paradise. Okay, but now here are games that I need ported over. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino.
I don't think I know that one, but it sounds great.
Devil Dice.
Yeah.
Intelligent Qube.
These are some like PS1 era puzzly games.
Word. Yeah, word. KLAX.
Oh, man.
KLAX.
I love that you have this list just sitting in your brain.
Where are they? Give me the games. The Immortal.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat that shit. This time, I'm going to beat it. Gimme. Yes. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, though. Bring me that, but with better controls. Give me that.
Did you know that on the Switch right now, you can play The Immortal through the NES app on it for free if you have that?
How are the controls?
They're the same as they were on the NES.
No, come on. Remaster.
Oh, so yeah, you want like a sprawling,
remaster,
but still isometric and clanky.
Yes. The room with the vortices where you're surfing. Yes.
What I was playing recently, maybe along the line of those games. Did you ever play Shadowgate?
No, what's that?
Shadowgate was a point-and-click adventure game on the NES. And it was one of the sorts of things where every other thing you did would kill you.
Oh.
Yeah. So yes. You're in a room and you can select like look and use and, ascend, and you just go places and look at things, and it would just say, lots of text, but it's fun. It's one of those
That's interesting.
puzzle box games that it's very unfair. Kind of like the Immortal.
So, but the Immortal, it lives rent free in my brain for like how many years?
It's
30.
more than 30, man. It's
Yeah, it's 40. I don't know. It's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But okay, sorry. You were talking. My brain. This is the signs of age. Welcome. God damn it. Never mind.
Yeah, well, we were talking about like a revamped version of the Immortal and what that might look like. But yeah, so those games are
those are my
always
games.
in your brain, kind of like I want these back.
Devil Dice, I love that game. I love that game. I could play for hours. It is senseless that how much I could play it. So much.
I am really surprised actually that there's never been another Intelligent Qube, because that was a game that had like
Intelligent Qube was so good.
It had a following, like it was kind of not a sleeper hit, but a cult following, and it seems like you could make one with a relatively small investment, right?
Yeah. It wasn't a like graphically graphic intensive game.
And a new one wouldn't have to be either. You just have to have some clever twists in it, and it feels like something Sony could be like, all right, here's $500,000, make a new Intelligent Qube. And it'd be like done.
Get some writers from the Portals games to sort of add a layer to it of meta. I think that could be really fun. Or not. You don't need it. You just need to be that dude in hell with the cubes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you know that game, because it's a terrific game. Yeah. Man, KLAX too. What a great game. I used to play that in the arcade.
See, that's one I never played, but saw a whole bunch too. And I was like, what's going on here? Yeah.
It's just, I guess I've been thinking recently, like when we had Dave on and we were talking about like games that you guys both played, and like, where was I? Like, what games was I playing that everyone else wasn't? And it's like Pipe Dreams. Do you remember Pipe Dreams?
Yeah, on PC, right? Or Mac?
I on Nintendo.
Oh, you played on Nintendo? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
SNES? I don't know.
That was basically what they ripped off to make the mini games in BioShock, wasn't it? The hacking mini game?
Yeah. That was a great game. I played hours. I played that game. Yeah, that's what I was playing while you studied the sword. I was playing Pipe Dreams.
Sweet.
An Intelligent Qube. And No One Could Stop Mr. Domino. And
it does look like they must have made another Intelligent Qube for like the PS Vita or something. Like it seems
so
good. Obvious. Yeah.
And also it made my brain hurt in a way.
You know what?
What a great
modern game that makes that happen to me. Have you played Baba Is You?
No, I need to though.
You would love that game, and also maybe hate it because it's a puzzly game and it's brilliant and it's got this simple aesthetic. I
know I've seen it, yeah, for sure.
And just like turning words into gameplay in a very literal sense. It does a great job at that. It's super good.
I mean, okay, well that's more recent, but I want to go back even further back because you were saying point and click adventure. Yeah. Before, I want old school. I'm typing pet cat into King's Quest 4 or King's Quest 3. Sierra online games. That's what I want. I want those.
That would be amazing.
I know there are emulators, but I can't seem to find anything that like works well for Mac.
There's definitely things out there that work well for Mac, but
okay.
Yeah, now you've got me. Like, what if somebody made a like single A game, really fancy graphics, big involved storytelling, voice acting, but it was a text-based interface. Like, I would love that.
I'd be in it. Yeah. God, so much.
High polished 3D game, but you got to walk over there, touch that guy.
Why don't we do it?
We could do it, I guess. I mean,
what's to stop us, Chris?
I mean, aside from having the ability
Are you a coward?
To generate a AAA game, sure.
I mean, are you a coward or not? Are we cowards? I'm pretty sure it's
cowards or not cowards. Yeah, well,
yes.
I would take that risk. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a binary of cowardly or not.
And I want to see somebody like write a magazine article and was like, idiots waste money on stupidest idea ever.
But not cowards.
Not cowards. They're not cowards. They're just stupid. I'd rather be stupid than cowardly. There you go.
Dumb jerks. Very brave.
I think that's pretty good note to end our talk today.
Yeah, I agree. Way to be very brave today, Chris.
Likewise. You go take the bull by the horns and have a little Uwe Boll in your life.
Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll. No, I'm good. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.
Bye, Chris.